This is Keep the Faith Ministry News. I'm Hal Mayer. Franklin Graham, the son of legendary Billy Graham, calls on Christians to vote and get God's voice back into politics. Franklin Graham urged thousands of Christians gathered near the Georgia Capitol to make their voices heard in this year's election, saying the consequences of inaction are dire. I don't think we're going to make it to another election cycle if we don't get God's voice back in the political arena, he said. Graham was speaking to an estimated 4,500 people in Atlanta. Atlanta is stop number 6 on Graham's 50-state Decision America tour. I want to get Christians to run for office at every level. The Christian voice needs to be heard, he said. His tour has a threefold purpose: call the nation to prayer. Number 2, remind people to vote as part of the Christian and civic duty. And number 3, have people look at the election year from a spiritual standpoint. We have a problem, and that problem is called sin, Graham told the crowd, but God loves us. Graham lamented what he calls the sins of the nation: abortion, same-sex marriage, pride, materialism, racism, and the Hollywood glorification of sex and violence. Quoting his famous father, Graham said, "For unless America turns back to God, repents of its sin, and experiences a spiritual revival, we will fail as a nation." I feel that we're going to have to meet our political obligations as Christians and make our voice known if America is to be preserved with the type of Christian heritage which has given us the liberties we now enjoy, Graham said. Many who attended the rally worried about the recent path the country has taken. Let's lift up the name of Christ. Let's take our country back, Graham added. We know where this will end up. Bible prophecy is clear. Revelation 13 says that a worship law is coming, and those who refuse to obey it will be prevented from buying and selling and will eventually receive the death penalty. As the Sabbath has become the special point of controversy throughout Christendom, and religious and secular authorities have combined to enforce the observance of the Sunday, the persistent refusal of a small minority to yield to the popular demand will make them objects of universal execration. It will be urged that the few who stand in opposition to an institution of the church and a law of the state ought not to be tolerated, that it is better for them to suffer than for whole nations to be thrown into confusion and lawlessness. This argument will appear conclusive, and a decree will finally be issued against those who hallow the Sabbath of the fourth commandment, denouncing them as deserving of the severest punishment and giving the people liberty after a certain time to put them to death. Romanism in the Old World and apostate Protestantism in the New will pursue a similar course toward those who honor all the divine precepts. That's The Great Controversy, page 615. This is Keep the Faith Ministry News. Thank you for watching.